Who's a good boy?
Hello, Hot Wowie. Good to see you, darling. Hello, Tiny. Hello, Brownie. Hello, Hex. Hey, and Harry, how you doing? We're only on for about an hour, guys. Hello, Gabe. How are you? Hey, Rose, how are you? You finished your at-home Dewey Decimal, you legend! I hope you guys like my threw it together in 2 minutes Twitch overlay for writing. We'll maybe one day make something better, but we'll see. Cinnamon rolls, hell yes. I think we all should see. Dun 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 dun. Okay, that is kind of genius. You legend. Hello, Keela, how are you? It's too male gazy. I'm doing okay, Keela. I'm doing alright. Trying to write nudity in a non-sexual yet female gaze way that is also beautiful yet imperfect. You know, as you do. Melting's the wrong word, not melting, merging, something like that. Actually, dancing's quite good. Normally I write this by hand, but I had a spare hour and figured, what the hell, let's do it. Let's do it direct with you guys here. I hope everyone is having a lovely, relaxing Sunday. Tomorrow's a bank holiday in the UK. I have guests coming over tonight at 4 o'clock, and we'll be busy until 4 PM tomorrow. After that, I think we'll probably hang out in some way, shape or form. I have all Monday's audios up and ready to go, so that's good. So take it easy. currently reading Dragon Porn. I mean, beautiful, Gabe. Excellent. We're here for this. We're in favour of this sort of behaviour. Cat loafing on your boobs. Fucking goals. Actually an alien, but looks like a dragon. So close enough. Yep, fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you, Ty. This is what I need you for. And said proudly, some form of free. Yes. This is exactly it. I was thinking it might be a bit on the male gazy, and knowing this universe well already, right there. Weight of her breasts. I want to say lying, hanging, but those aren't the right words. You know, it should be something more, less descriptive than that. Yes, less sort of, you know, sexualized. I'm trying to show the utter beauty of her imperfection, if that makes sense. Lounging? No. No, I don't think. I don't know. What do you guys think? Does breasts lounging sound right? I could be very wrong here, and I'm still very aware of the mistakes I will make because of my penis. Wouldn't be a bad name for an album, that, actually. The mistakes I'll make because of my penis. Resting's alright. To be honest, it might be alright just as is, actually. The weight of her breasts unlifted by any tension. What do we think? Actually, no, you're right. Freely unlifted. No, actually, I think that's almost. It might actually just be too much. It might better just be nothing. Resting feels like a good option. Yeah, let's go with resting. I'm not trying to get into too much about how women's bodies are slightly different in Ribbon Sale, simply because of. I mean, to start with, that in terms, yeah, just chilling there, or just in terms of sort of, you know, I mean, I want to get across, you know, the feeling of it without sort of going too much into the kind of specifics, because. No, I did a very deep dive on this, but no, it's very difficult to sort of phrase those things without being male gazy, because women, to start with, naturally would be quite a bit taller in Ribbon Sale, mostly because of the fact that it's, you know, thousands of years ahead in the future. That's the way that the human race is going. We just get taller. But also the change in gravity would play a slight effect in that, particularly in terms of limbs, in terms of arms and legs, but very not to the point that it would be super noticeable. But also just a large point. thing of just being free from the male gaze means that bodies are, I do not want to say the word healthy, that is not the right word, but more I don't know what it is there, but yeah, sure. Do they? Oh, I think like I say, I think I've done this, and I think women are actually, by and large, getting taller as well, but I could be wrong. That's basically what I'm thinking, AJ, essentially, and I think I'll keep it like that for now, and then when the thing's written, possibly get someone to cast an eye over to maybe help me add a bit more female gaziness to that kind of stuff. Unlifted by any tension. Do you mean she was? Yeah, I think you're right. Actually, just resting freely. That's actually perfect. Yep. I mean, A, she's not wearing a bra, but also there's no tension in her body. She's just absolutely, utterly at ease with it, as everyone is. Terrible sentence. Turn away. But she kept looking. I've already had that she was standing there at ease, haven't I? No, I haven't actually. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no problems there, Keela. Yeah, I'm just checking this again, Gabe, and yeah, again, absence of the male gaze would counteract that, or absence of men, full stop, would counteract that whole thing about the way women tend to go shorter. Nothing against short people here, I want to make that very clear. But yeah, I think you're right. Keep the descriptions to a minimum on that sort of thing. For now, at least. So, I think again that's possibly just too much. Just leaving it there. Just do it. Decide I was calling these. Nesting. That's it. Alright, italics the way to do it. I can still call it an apartment. That's essentially what it is, even if it's not necessarily what they'd call it there. Raining. It is it's sort of that kind of bright cloudy day where the sun's just a bit too annoying, if that makes any sense at all. I don't think I need to say that this is what Ribbon Cell clearly had instead of skyscrapers. I think people can just work that out, can't they? Show don't tell and all that. Not the home instead, the home itself. Fuck off, Grammarly. Grammarly is kind of redundant these days, it has to be said. That's another ethical use of AI, is as a fucking spell checker. Just, if you do that, do remember to check afterwards that it hasn't done that it hasn't actually rewritten the fucking thing, but if you tell it just to do a spelling and grammar correction. Yeah. Had called it. I know I shouldn't be doing these edits as I go. I just, in between bits of inspiration, I tend to go back over my stuff. And after all, there's no should when it comes to writing. There is just do. Or any creativity. Fair enough, AJ. See, now, I'm thinking that individual homes are called nests in Ribbon Sale. I just like that word. I think if I go with that, saying that directly after using the word nesting, it's going to get confusing. So let's not go. To home again. I use the word flow far too much. That's not what I mean. I want to say that thank you, AJ. I really want to get across the feeling that it's just safe and comforting, and that's. And freeing, there's no need to try, no slamming doors, that kind of thing, Opened is not, we'll have to do for now, but I want to say it kind of flowed open into a space. Kind of like that, really. It looks a bit like a foot, doesn't it? Into a fractal bulb. No, it's not that, because it's fractal bulb almost together in that case. Well, it's all quite yonic in this regard, everything is, but everything in our world is absurdly phallic, let's be honest, so. But again, very much something that needs to be shown, not told. Nesting pod, nesting. That's nice. Yeah. I mean, I quite like just calling it nesting thing, but yeah, I see what you mean that you're calling it a nest and a nest being part of. You know, I think as long as I leave a little bit of a gap between hand, if Lara, I mean, I can just have Riz when she speaks next say, you know, saying welcome to our nest or something like that. I think we're probably okay at that point. I'm also very aware that a lot of the things in Ribbon Sale kind of are two words put together. Yeah, bubble train, mist hall, glow floor, that kind of stuff, moss glass. And yeah, I don't want to sort of make that too much a thing, I suppose. As you can see, this one's taken me quite a while to write, Ty, because it's such a... I mean, it's a long one by my standards. As you may have gathered, my chapters tend to be quite short, but compared to some people's chapters, certainly. What are we at? We're 3,500, so we're looking at about 5,000 words, maybe a bit more when it's done, which is pretty long for a chapter that I've written. But also there's a lot. There's a couple of... two real big things that I really feel I have to get very, very right, even the first time. Firstly, we've had this bubble train ride, and now we're going into the touch party, which is going to be an absolutely seminal thing, as it were, and very much kind of a closing of the first act to a large extent for Anna. I need a snack, but I haven't got any. I will have tea instead. No, not 80. It's this is peppermint. It needs to be 100. Okay, maybe. Is it in the edge though? Because I'm seeing it is kind of going into the flat part on the top, basically, and going down like so. Oh, sorry. That'll be an individual home. How it might look from door being there, and then presumably some sort of corridor to there, and then these would be the windows looking out into the valley of it, so to speak. The actual thing. So funny enough, it's going to look a bit like this from above. Various folds. I wonder if you can see what I'm doing with this here, where I'm kind of getting it. Probably the lift that takes you down to the various floors will be situated there. Can you tell what it is yet? I don't know. Maybe it's too obvious, but... I'm not actually going to outright say in the text, but that's how it is in my mind. Like I say, very Yonic. They go down, and the light cut and the ring light would be shining down into the thing. So yeah, it would be going down. If you think of the pedal flat here, it would come together like so, but very kind of gently sloping, with the home's windows tilted slightly upwards, so the light is coming down like that. And again, ring light is more of an overall glow around the place, as opposed to kind of the potentially harsh light that one expects from the sun. I did actually do a research into why Ionic buildings, what advantages Ionic buildings have over phallic ones. But particularly in no, not the petal isn't one large one, because the petals are huge. Basically, they're basically the platforms. If you think of ribbon sail, and you know, how much of this I need to kind of go into in the book, I'm not too sure. But yeah, if you think of ribbon sail being built in kind of a flower-like shape. So there's 80 petals, main petals in all, so it then produces further petals here. And, you know, so on and so on and so on like that. This central bit here houses, you know, I'm trying to sort of give an eye of the scale of it. So if we look at just one of these petals here, this building would be like there. So have thousands and thousands of homes in it. And then around it, you often have lots of these very kind of dome-shaped, shell-like buildings that come up. Which are, again, you know, more memorial than fag. Let me know if I'm getting too ridiculous with all this stuff, guys. I may be trying too hard, but I quite like, at the moment, I quite like the feel of it. But this is definitely things that do need sense checking. But yeah, Ionic-shaped buildings like that would actually have a lot of big advantages in ribbon sail. They would give a lot of stability and microgravity. They'd add radiation protection, thermal efficiency, and also it is a very efficient use of space. As well as also, you know, rejecting the Earth's trauma and so on. Well, this tie, that exactly, and you know I have done already, as you may have gathered, quite an enormous amount of world building. One of the tiers of the fourth wall when it's set up will be dropping large lore drops about the world every month. So stuff like this that may not necessarily get into the things that were. Because after all, what we should be getting from this should only, inside the text as it were, is only what Anna's perspective is, as it is written entirely from her POV. Which is going to make one of the last things that happens very difficult to do, but I'm going to try and work out how to do that. We'll get there. I have faith that it'll come to me in the end. And I'm trying to describe sort of the softness of the space. Ugh. One of those moments now. We'll get there. To my backup as well. How have we done it? 220. It's about standard for that. Thank you. It's like the space itself isn't decorated to impress, just to soothe and invite rest. But writing it directly like that feels to me A, too much like telling, not showing, and B, not quite right when we're coming from Anna's POV. I could do it in such a way that it's like that's how she felt. Well, I mean, this is the thing. It is from the narrator, but everything the narrator writes is very much from her POV, if that makes sense. You know, I don't. The narrator isn't sharing anything that Anna isn't aware of, if that makes sense. It's very much written from her POV and from the narrator's perspective, as it were. Yeah, I mean, that could change a little bit now, maybe, as she's becoming more au fait with Ribbonsale, possibly from the second act onwards. But certainly to begin with, it's not her voice, but it's just, yeah, like you say, only things as she would see and experience, exactly. It's not in her voice. You know, it's certainly not first person. But we don't see into anyone's thoughts, and we should get this. Yeah, that's what I think. That's what I'm thinking, Neri. That's how we need to do it. That's quite nice. Yeah. Elaborate, Ty. Right, yeah. Yes, okay. I mean, you've read it so far. How do you think the which of those do you think the voice usually comes across as? Right, yes, okay, so that is true. Yes, and so this isn't what she's saying. This is very much kind of narrator's voice in that regard. This isn't. She wouldn't just say details about what it looks like. No, I get that. It is indeed dawn, yes. Thought I'd just take a now to do some of this in a public manner. I'm gonna have to go in about 10 minutes. Maybe a little earlier if I come over before then. So I'm quite happy with what we managed to get. This has been why the chapter has taken so long to write, because it's all been in little 200-word snippets like this. I may be trying too hard to show not tell. That may be my issue here. Is, you know, I'm so fucking terrified by having that phrase thrown at me for the best part of 10 years of previous writing things that I just am so desperate not to try and make it. That's a good point down here. Just to write a bit for you, to read a bit for you before we stop. Just try and finish this. Try and work out how to describe our hand. Yeah, exactly. I've kind of done a bit of that already, Dawn. In this bit, anyway. I think not necessarily in this paragraph or scene, yeah, but yeah, absolutely. I like the idea of writing it one way and then rewriting it the other. Right, okay. That's good. That's good. See, I mean, what I'm basically trying to do here is make it clear, in this bit at least, because at this bit it becomes obvious it's Soren's space. But for them to tell it's the child's, just this sentence here, telling them this is their daughter's, or one of their daughter's spaces, so to speak. Alright. I'm going to, just before I have to go, because I've got 5 minutes left, I'm going to try read you the bubble train journey. So I'm quite proud of this. It took me a week to write it after all. A chime jangled from the hologram behind her, and the voice said, "The bubble train is here." There was something calming and safe about the voice, despite its mechanicality. She turned to her left to see a bubble slowing into the station. 2 women and a child who couldn't be older than 5 sat together. They all gave welcoming smiles to Anna and her friends as they approached. "Ready to ride, sister?" Lyra asked as the bubble came to a stop. The exterior visibly softened, and Lyra walked straight through it like it was nothing, the membrane just parting around her shape and reforming. "You next, Anna!" Kesh grinned. Anna took a deep breath and put her hand out to the surface, which her fingers just gently probed through, penetrating the membrane and leaving the rest intact. It felt like pushing into the surface of water, the lightest resistance, then full acceptance. She took a step forward and let the whole bubble take her in. Kesh looked up when she entered and raised an eyebrow. "Amazing," Anna said. "Gel glass," Kesh replied. "I'm Lyra," Lyra said, sitting on one of the 3 hemispheres on the floor. 3 hemispheres. It moved with her, adapting to her form. Kesh said, joining in. "I'm Anna." Anna sat down as well. Just as Lyra's had, the seat cushioned her, as if it was the easiest memory foam. The 2 women replied that their names were Siri and Tansine, before their daughter excitedly chimed in, "My name's Metty," then gasped, "Anna, Noah, look, it's moving again." The bubble train started its glide out of the station. Metty jumped up onto her tiny feet and ran to the re-solidified walls, pressing her hands out to it and staring out at the city. The bubble train glided along the line so smoothly it felt to Anna as if they were remaining stationary while the city was shifting around them. The line swung around when it left the station, flying over the street they'd walked down. Metty waved to a woman relaxing with a drink in a hammock at the cafe Anna had passed by, and bounced with glee as the woman waved back. The street drifted away beneath as they climbed in between the buildings. Fluid curves and twists that blossomed naturally, so far removed from the harsh boxes and edged glass of earth. The line peaked above a group of thermal sails that glowed as they caught the heat of the city and swept in through the wall of a voluptuous shell. Inside, the track took them through a cavernous library with row out of row of bookshelves carved out of the structure. A colossal archive of knowledge in a single monumental shell. Beneath them, women browsed and read, the bubble train clearly moving so quietly as to not cause any disturbance. The books! The books! Metty bounced happily. Doing a full loop? Kesh asked Metty's mothers. Siri nodded. She never gets tired of it. Neither do I. Kesh laughed. The track swooped back outside and around up over a roof garden. Enormous leaves branched out over the edges from towering succulents. Twists of brightly shining flowers lined the middle as unwrapped women sat and shared food messily from a platter between them. Over the edge, the bubble train dived and swung round the centre of the city. Standing tall atop the central platform, she could see the council building that she'd seen Cisner at. and behind it, a soaring amphitheatre of what looked like marble and glass, surrounded by cascading water fountains that spilled off the edge of the platform, as if it would fall into the rings themselves. She hadn't even noticed the amphitheatre that time, nor the bubble train lines which she could clearly see cross the plaza. Maybe she'd been too captivated by everything else to notice, or by Cisna. Beyond the Sky Terrace Plaza, as Lyra informed her it was called, the bubble train began to drift between a network of clear bridges, and then over an arena where athletic women jetted through the air, competing fiercely for control of a sphere of liquid plasma that danced between them. Fingers sparked it on, thighs caught it mid-flight, every strike making the light ripple as if it had its own pulse. "Is that Glide Ball?" Anna asked. "Yes," Lyra said. "Loop Shocker playing. Aza is amazing. She's so elegant, so powerful, so able to crush an ice boulder with her thighs." Kesh snorted. "Kesh?" Lyra batted her friend away with her hand, then turning back to Anna giggled. "But also yes." As Anna smiled, her focus shifted from the view outside to her reflection in the glass. She looked like she felt. Softer, brighter. She realised how different she was holding herself. Her jaw was unclenched and her hands open at her sides. The bubble train soared around the arena towards a large reservoir, water glittering in the ring light. Another dip and the bubble train was under the surface. Shining fish swam round and between networks of coral on the floor. "Armour! Noah! Fish!" Metty was beside herself with excitement. "Which one is your favourite?" Noah asked. "That one!" Metty said, pointing at a green and blue one with a split tail. Anna realised she expected a Noah to be in some way more masculine than an Armour. Definitely a heteronormative hang-up, she thought. Maybe it was what Professor Darcy had said about needing a sperm. Perhaps Noahs were all trans women like Darcy's ex. She couldn't just casually ask Metty's parent if one of them happened to have or had had a penis. Perhaps there was a subtler way to ask, or to notice. "How do the fish breed?" she asked Lyra. "You don't know?" Lyra asked. "The way all animals do." "Isn't it the same on Earth? Males and females?" Kesh asked. "Right, yes. But I mean, not like women." "She said animals, not humans, silly!" Metty chimed in. Anna sighed and laughed. She'd just been schooled by a 5-year-old. "But how?" she was screaming in her head, when the entire bubble lit up with a playful bell sound. "Here we go," Lyra said, and the bubble train slowed as it rolled into an arched alley and into a giant-shaped crystal station. It should probably be a giant crystal-shaped station, shouldn't it? Or just a giant crystal station. Yeah, either shape. With a gold-laced image of two hands held together above the ceiling. "Enjoy the tour," Lyra said to the family as they left the bubble. "Wait!" Metty said, then looking at Anna directly asked, "Drift?" "Of course," Anna said, feeling a tear wanting to burst out, that she failed to hold back as the child embraced her knees in an innocent hug. "I hope I never wake up," Anna whispered to herself as the bubble train pulled off again a few moments later. Yeah, like I say, quite proud of that scene, that it took a very long time to write that. Oh, hello. That is a very good thought. And yes, there is sports, as we know, at a ribbon sale. The main sport is called Glide Ball, which is what they were just witnessing there. Hello, Ignos Inferno. Lovely to meet you. This isn't usually something I do on a stream. I'm actually about to leave the stream, but I am a... thank you very much for that. Thank you, Dawn. Yes. Let's have a chat about this in greater detail, though, Ty. But yeah. It's worth pointing out, I think you're right, maybe it's time to lose lose the word athletic from that particular thing, because an athletic body in ribbon cell, I think, is very different to what a male society like ours would call athletic. But yes, Ignos, welcome to the stream. My name is GD Audio, or Jed. I am a romantic and erotic voice actor from the United Kingdom. I do a lot of erotic audios for women, as well as safe for work stuff on YouTube. You're exceptionally welcome here, however, wherever you find yourself on or off the gender spectrum. We are a very open and inclusive bunch of perverts. I am noise, indeed, yes. Erotic VA. So yes, feel free to check out the Linktree and the card. The card there is only safe for work links. The Linktree has the spicy stuff as well. We are about to raid someone because I've got some guests coming over in real life in a few seconds, I believe. So let me quickly drop you guys out, and I will see you all again soon, I hope. Probably tomorrow. Wait, one moment. Brilliant. Yep, drop the follow. Fantastic. Nicely done, Ignos. And I look forward to hanging with you in future streams. Misuki is playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Let's go see her. We haven't done her forever. And yes, chat is normally very feral. This is very much an over 18 stream. But yes, really actually want to have a proper chat with you at some point, Ty, not just about athletic stuff, but about ribbon cell bodies in general and how to describe it, so to speak, in a way that is not in any way male gazy or body shaming. Because the point I'm trying to get across being that the absence of male standards and that kind of bullshit being put on, and the pressure being put on women, creates this absolute natural beauty, so to speak, that comes from just being at ease in one's body rather than actual physical form, if that makes sense. But again, even phrasing it that way, I feel like I'm being a bit kind of male and judgy about it. So yeah. Anyway, let's go. Yes, we are all about body positivity here. Right, gonna go raid Misuki. She's complete chaos, but she's nice, and we haven't raided her for a while, so let's go. Alright, good night, darling.